Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Whisper Secrets, a Candela Obscura story here at the Pantsless table. I am your humble lightkeeper, Leneyxis, he, him pronouns, lover of all horror and mystery games. Uh, Whisper Secrets is no different, a game of mystery, horror, and everything in between. Our investigators are about to step into the unknown. Whether they walk away wiser or just more broken remains to be seen. Let's go around the table and introduce who all of our investigators are and who the circle is. Heading right off to April.
Um, I'm April. I'm playing Dr. JavaScript. I've actually never said his name out loud myself, but yeah, I'm playing Dr. Crypt. He's a academic slash professor with some problems of his own that he's trying very desperately to avoid.
Alrighty, moving on. We have Chrissy.
Sorry, hi. Chrissy and Keller, she, they pronouns, and I am playing Isadora Vex, our, loving occultist. It's fine. It's fine. And she also uses she, they pronouns.
Amazing. Moving off to Evan.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Evan. He, him pronouns. I am playing Detective Harrison Locke. Also, he, him pronouns. Excited to be here.
Amazing. And moving on, Garnet.
Hey y'all, I'm Garnet. I will be playing Hippolyta Grovewalker, the resident journalist. So if you see me taking a bunch of notes, that is both in and out of character. We both also use she, they pronouns.
Beautiful. And last but not the least, Evie.
Hello, I'm Evie Story, she, they pronouns. I am playing Dr. Jolene Peace, a wonderful, if maybe slightly mad doctor that is here to perhaps keep you safe and alive. We'll have to see. Jolene also uses she, they pronouns.
And this is our circle of many band investigators. Here to investigate one of the mysteries that has been plaguing the last few circles of Candela Obscura. We cut to the opening scene, the voyage to Ultima Linea, a lighthouse a day's journey away from the mainland city of Fairelands. As a group of investigators, the circle of chaos and curiosity, depart from the harbor of Fairelands, seeing it bathe in the last light of the day, as they resurrect the steamroller ship pulling away from the docks. The sun, swollen and blood orange, clings to the horizon, casting long shadows across the glass sea. The city behind them feels distant already, its light flickering and buzzing like tiny moths of fireflies as the ship drifts into open waters. The crew, a group of six, besides you all, works in silence, their movements practiced but uneasy. There is no fanfare, just a simple farewell from your Lightkeeper, Osiris, a human, um, a man in his early 50s, pepper and black hair, his cane raised up high, standing on the edge of the harbor, waving you all goodbye, wishing you luck. The rhythmic creak of the hull and the steady drum of the tide as the waters of the glass sea gently thrum and hit against the hull. This is not the first time this crew has made a journey to the island of the Ultima Linea, but none speak of it. Let's go around our circle and ask them where they are here on the ship and what they're doing.
I'm gonna say that like Dr. Crypt isn't used to ship journeys all that much. So I am currently cooped up on like a side of the ship, like hugging like I don't know, like a bottle of some sort of alcohol and just throwing up overboard every few minutes. I am very seasick in a corner.
I'm going to say that since our characters have a knowledge of each other, that Dr. Pace kind of keeps like every time you vomit, comes over and goes, that alcohol's not helping. And then I imagine you just take a swig out of defiance or something and then goes, all right, and then walks away again.
It's not helping me physically, but mentally, this is the only thing keeping me on this ship right now.
I like to think Isadora is hanging out on the bow to like watch. Like she's so curious. She wants to know like where they are, where they're going. Like she wants to see everything around as quickly as possible. So I think that she is quite literally like practically leaning over the bow of the ship to look around and also see what's in the water beneath them. If anything pokes its little head out.
Currently,
Um,
you see the water just expand into its endless depths. You see nothing but clear crystal blue water, just gently hitting against the hull. And every so often, you see these occasional fishes run past the hull of the ship, but nothing really stands out to you in this moment, at least.
Amazing.
um, I'm going to say in contrast to that, where you're like looking out at the water, um, it's maybe not super obvious, but Jolene refuses to look past the edge of the ship. That's one of the reasons why they keep walking past Professor Crip, Dr. Crip. What do you prefer,
Anything's fine.
Professor or Doctor?
Anything's
Either.
fine.
Okay.
It's like
But
it's
that's
not
one of the
like any of
reasons.
them were like earned, so either is fine.
But yeah, I think that Jolene just keeps kind of like making these rounds, almost like a caged animal, just kind of like going around the ship and then going around the ship and then just going around the ship and refuses to look out over the like waters, just constantly like looking inward, just like, hey, can you like, do you need something? I've got medicine. Are you feeling okay? Just like walking around to the rest of the circle, just being like, how are you doing? You know, you want to make sure that like if you're going to move, you move in relation with the boat. Just, you know, keep your eyes on a fixed point. And then like just refuses though to actually like possibly doesn't even go and really talk to Isabella because or Isadora because you're so far removed from any other like points of looking inward that Jolene could do. And is just like going in these like pacing circles.
You see, at one point, Dr. Jolene, one of the crewmates, the first mate actually, this brunette woman, uh, this beautiful uh, woman who seems to be in early 30s. Uh, she has a low cut side cut to her hair, dressed very beautifully and in sailor's clothes, walks up to you and says, "Are you all right, doctor? You seem to be pacing around a lot."
um, Yeah, Jolene. Oh, and we should do descriptions. So Jolene has somewhat frizzy hair that she generally keeps either in a bun or in a very messy braid, but generally pulled up, and is wearing sort of like generally some like white doctory-ish clothing because it's easy to keep clean. White is, well, it's easy to re-clean, but has this like tweed jacket on over it in anticipation of cold, chilly waters or whatever that, and like a little scarf to just sort of like stay braced against what she expected to possibly be chilly, cold wetness. Maybe didn't pick the right outfits, but that's what they've got, and just sort of looks over at the first mate and goes, "Oh no, we're all good. We're all good. Is there something you need? I have," and starts like opening her doctor's case and goes, "I have some different ointments and stuff for anybody who might be feeling a little bit ill, but I also have like any rug burn. We can certainly treat that right away, make it so that the crew can stay nice." And it's just absolutely evident in this interaction, super high stressed and will not admit it.
She just kind of looks at you and grabs you by the shoulders and says, why don't we take a moment and why don't you have a seat? You're clearly stressing out. Maybe we can breathe.
Okay.
Long deep breath.
I pat the space next to me, the very obvious, like, this is the edge of the ship, you probably shouldn't be here space. I pat that, like, you want to come sit here?
I think that with the gesture and with the first mate's sort of encouragement, I do get like moved over towards you, but when I sit down towards you, I have fully turned my back so that I am still facing inward to the ship and I am not looking at the water at all.
She looks over at you, Doctor, and says, I'm hoping you can take care of her. I'm just gonna take a quick round of the ship just to see how the others are doing.
I think as
I like look between myself and the bottle. Take care of another person? Okay. And I turn around to throw up again.
I'm sure you both can take care of each other. You have the medicines and you have clearly some. Why? You know what? Take care. I'm just gonna make a quick round of the ship, and she just begins leaving and heading towards the actual deck of the ship, towards where the captain is currently helming the wheel, steady and moving forward towards what looks like currently nothing in view, but intent and direction.
Jolene, I think over your shoulder you hear shink shink. You want a light? And you see Harrison is holding out a lit cigarette for you. You seem like you're kind of on edge right now.
I mean, sure, yeah. I don't want you to smoke alone. Yeah, I'll smoke with you. Why don't you? Yeah, well, join us.
And he sits down. He passes over his a cigarette. He takes another one out.
Jolene does not know how to do this. Absolutely starts coughing.
You'll get the hang of it.
Here you go.
Oh no, that's yours.
Oh, I get to keep it. Cool.
Yes, doctor.
Why don't you go over what we know about the place we're going again? Maybe that'll be good. We can do a refresher. Actually, Hippolyta, Isadora, maybe we should have a gather up and go over our notes again. Just very still stressed. Hasn't inhaled enough of the cigarette for it to help yet.
Are you sure you're in a notes mindset yet,
this
doctor?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What was that? Oh, Huddle. Yes, of course. She'll give one last glance over and then kind of walk up. Are you all stressed?
I'm okay. They're kind of going through it.
We should just stay focused. That's all. I think that it would be good. Yeah, we should just. Professor, that alcohol is just coming right back up every time you drink it down. You know it's not actually helping, right?
Do you have a better option?
Tea?
But the tea would also come right up again and it's going to be hot. So I'm going to burn my throat with it both going down and coming back up again.
The alcohol doesn't burn?
At this point, no, actually.
Do you want a
It's
cigarette,
more like a comforting
doctor?
friend. Oh, absolutely, sure, why not? I think I'm gonna take it from you without like you even lighting it, and ooh, I'm gonna start munching on it.
Oh, Doc. I don't. Oh. Okay.
I watch that and I go, okay, maybe you are drunk. And I'm just going to try and take it from you gently. Like, that's not, no, even I know that's not right.
You want some? Sure, go ahead. I hand it to you.
I've got one that's like chewed on the end and soggy, and one that's slowly burning down, and I have barely had 2 puffs of.
All right, so prior to this wonderful interaction, Hippolyta was sort of like posted up, just like taking notes on the boat and kind of going over everything. And Hippolyta has 2 notebooks. One where she keeps incredibly detailed everything about all of the stuff that they've gone through, and there's always like a different notebook for each assignment. And then she has a second one also for each assignment, but the journal of like the newspaper approved one, so that if she ever wanted to actually print any of the things that they've done, it doesn't actually put the organization at risk, but also like these are cool stories that people should hear about. So she's got both of her notebooks. She's just kind of comparing everything, and so far everything looks good. It's like, all right, nothing is weird. And then the commotion of the once the cigarette gets bitten, that's when they'll finally walk over and just, oh, I feel like I've missed a lot. Is everyone okay?
Oh,
Perhaps
yes.
don't put the cigarette eating in your notes. That should this ever come out, that may.
Yeah, no, that stays between us.
Harrison takes his notebook and scratches out the line where he wrote, I don't think I've ever seen a doctor smoke a cigarette.
I mean,
Clearly haven't met enough doctors.
Yeah, apparently.
chewing tobacco is a thing, but it's not really typically done like that. But no judgment, do you?
It's fine. It's not like it's going to stay in my system for a long time anyways.
That is incredibly true.
Actually, and then I set down the burning cigarette. I just set it down. And I start pulling apart the one that you chewed on, and I go, that actually might help, because if you chew it in the gums, it goes directly into the bloodstream, and that actually will stay with you. And so I just, for a minute now, I've got like a task where I'm going to pull apart this tobacco, and I'm going to turn it in. I'm going to add like a little bit of a maybe a little bit of a wax or a salve or something with it that's got a little bit of flavor, a little bit of taste, is good for chewing. And I'm going to mix it all together, and I'm going to end up giving you like tobacco gum.
Oh, let's fucking go. Like,
So
I'm like, okay, so I eat this?
chew it. And like
And
keep
then-
it really, really by your teeth.
So I chew it like
Mhm.
enough
Over
times and then I
and
swallow
over.
it.
No. Don't swallow it, because then it stops working, because it comes just out again. Just keep it in your mouth. And if you're going to vomit, pull it out and then put it back.
I love that you think I have reflexes that fast, but okay.
We're just gonna try and get some of the tobacco in your system. It might help.
I pop it in.
All right. And then I'm gonna look to the rest of the group and I go, so about those notes.
Right.
I mean, right now
And
it's
Harrison's gonna flip to whatever notes he currently has, which, Lenny, that's up to you, my friend.
You know that previously, as Harrison just quickly sifts through his records and the information that he was able to procure during the last few minutes, he has found that there is about 8 circles that have previously been to uh, Ultima Linea. And just give me one moment.
Everyone needs our GM. We have to share.
It's true.
It's okay. We are now here in this huddle. Everybody's here. The whole gang is here while we deal with issues.
Oh, hey, I needed. We didn't get visuals of everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
That's
But if you
right.
want to give visuals real quickly, please do so. How does everyone
Okay.
dressed?
I'll start. Dr. Crypt has I'm refusing to say their full name because I would break if I do.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Crypt generally wears very unprofessional kind of comfy clothes usually all the time. They have glasses, long white hair, longish white hair that's usually in a ponytail, and they have a neck tattoo of angel wings kind of wrapping around from the back. And so, I accidentally made him very hot, and I am suffering. But that is Dr. Crypt.
I think Isadora, pretty pale, long, wavy black hair, soft brown eyes. She is wearing a lot of kind of draped layers, in very dark academia colors, rich jewel tones. Some patterned like this, others solid. So reds, greens, blues, just kind of layered, either scarves, shawls, baggier shirts. And she has two neck pieces of some sort on. One's a necklace that has a very unsettling aura about it. Well, we can say that it looks similar to mine in that it seems to have dried flowers in its locket style with dried flowers. And then the other is just a little medicine pouch that she fiddles with a lot. And she's wearing a lot of rings, a lot of bracelets, just a lot of jewelry in general. And yeah, that is Isadora Vex. Oh, and she's youthful but not, yeah, she's, you could place her anywhere in late 20s to early 30s. She's probably never told any of you her age.
It's a mystery.
You don't need to know. It's not important.
Could be thousands of years old. We just have no idea.
It could be.
You have a
don't
really
know.
good skincare routine.
Yeah.
Harrison, you want to go next?
Sure. Harrison is mid. I would say mid to. He's mid. He's mid to late 20s. He has a mess of short-ish curly brown hair and a bit of stubble going on. Very, very young looking detective. He has a long dark red coat over a blazer of sorts and a vest with some suspenders. He's currently got a scarf on because it's a little cold, and he's got it covered up, his head covered up with a fedora, and you see him fiddling with the lighter. It's a very weathered gold lighter that he got from his brother, and he keeps, igniting the flame, closing it, and igniting the flame, closing it, and just trying to distract himself a little bit.
Hippolyta?
So, Hippolyta has deep brown skin, and she keeps her hair tied back in like a low bun, and she wears just like a cap. Preferring men's clothing, much to the dismay of her mother. She will wear trousers, and then still trying to show off the feminine features. Just pants are just much more convenient. They have pockets versus dresses. So there's also a corseted vest with a trench coat over it to sort of keep warm. Plus, all of the various pockets have pens and notebooks, and her press badge is in here somewhere. She will eventually find it. It's in one of these pockets. And always gloves, just because she doesn't want to get any ink smears on her hands. She's about 5'10", and definitely takes after her dad.
And yeah, Dr. Jolene.
Yeah, Dr. Jolene has that frizzy hair, usually keeps it back, and has a sort of like interesting little sort of like leather wood combo sort of hairpin setup that they typically use. It's got like a couple of little like weird decorations on it, one of them being a needle that just sort of hangs out. And then they wear, generally, they do a dress. So they've got like a sort of doctor's outfit of sorts. It's white because white is very easy to clean after you've gotten junk all over it. You just bleach the heck out of it. And so they frequently are just in whites. Not clean whites, because those whites get dirty fast, but they're in whites. And they've got sort of like a thick petticoat situation going on because it is chilly. And they've put on some heavier boots for this whole situation because being outside in the dirt is not great for like nice little slipper sandals or whatever. But they've got a little bag of doctor supplies that they keep with them, but then they've got a bigger bag of doctor supplies that are like with their stuff. They just always keep a smaller one around with them, and they're just at the moment bundled up as well. They look like they maybe don't enjoy this wet, cold sea adventure situation for a variety of reasons.
Absolutely. And as you're all huddled together, sifting through Henry Harrison's journal of investigations that he's found out about, like I said, 8 previous circles have ventured out to Ultima Linea. One of the first lighthouses that was ever created after the War of the Old Fairelands, when people found this new mainland city. It was believed that this lighthouse is one of the first and will be ultimately the last line of defense against the bleed and the other dimension. It's one of the only places that is initially was inhabited by a lot of people, but slowly and as the years went, it was completely abandoned. It was believed that a lot of the caretakers of this lighthouse abandoned their posts due to various reasons. Some of them are shrouded in mystery, but a lot of them believe that the lighthouse was an airy place and the bleed just kept getting worse. So so Candela Obscura as an institute decided that they would occasionally send in people, circles to keep the Astrolabe running, making sure that the last line of defense is always up and running. But this has been over an year now. 8 circles have ventured, and all of them have failed to turn the lighthouse back on.
You say it's been a year since the last circle came?
No, the last circle went about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks
The
ago.
last expedition was 3 weeks ago, but the actual working of the lighthouse, it's been over a year since it's got its regular service.
Got it.
And all of the 8 expeditions have failed. There has been a recurring message that all of them, Candela Obscura was able to maintain a little bit of communications with the expeditions that went in there. Well trained, well equipped circles, mind you. And all of them had a recurring last message. It's alive. Before they went AWOL. All of them.
Well, this is the part that's super comforting, and he keeps pointing at the "it's alive" written down and underlined 3 times.
Well, I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right? Something that's not supposed to be alive is alive. Otherwise, why would you say so?
Right, like I said, really very comforting.
Right, but we don't know what the it is. You know, a noun would have been great.
Assume
That's-
that when you're on the verge of, I don't know, dying, whatever happened to them. I guess nouns don't really pop up much with panicking. Not that I know anything about that, but I would assume that it's the lighthouse that's alive. I don't know what else would be there that's alive.
So enough bleed could make something as large as one of the lighthouses potentially come to life. Ooh. And then I like reach into I actually have like, they're not pockets, they're just slits that I've put into the skirts that I've then put like pouches underneath and between the layers of skirt. I reach in and I pull out my own sort of like really haggard notebook with a little pencil and just sort of like start writing down a little thought.
And while that's true, it most likely is the lighthouse. It could also be the island itself. We don't know how much bleed there is.
That's an
That's
even worse thought.
fair.
But you could be right.
Lighthouse or
bleed-
island? Like,
If bleed can cause something to come to life, and bleed is from a different plane, and we are presuming things such as the ghosts are a part of that bleed, then perhaps bleed is life.
except how would you classify life then? Like if the lighthouse is, let's say, if the lighthouse is alive, is it breathing? What classifies as breathing for the lighthouse? Does it have lungs? Does it do what plants do?
I would love to get a sample.
Well, I
Oh.
think you're about to get many.
Yeah.
Just hope it
How,
doesn't get a sample of you.
Honey, out of curiosity, how much hands-on experience have each of us had with bleed? Is that something that, like, have we spent a lot of time in and around bleed?
Not too much, because you know that bleed corrupts. Candela itself instructs you to minimalize your exposure to the bleed.
I would
Because
say Jolene probably has the most because she kind of seeks it out. But like, yeah, it's probably been reprimanded a couple of times by Osiris. Like, stop it, put that down. Don't hold
put
on
that
to
down.
these things.
So we're treating it like a worse kind of radiation almost, I guess.
It's what kind of radiation?
Cool.
It's the kind of radiation that would mutate you at a rapid pace.
Got you.
And with this information, it's almost as if the skies and the water around you is hearing these thoughts and conversation. As the skies begins to die faster than it should. Dusk should linger, but instead, the last golden light is snuffed out abruptly as the sun completely dips beneath the waters. The air thickens all around you as a low fog begins to hang at the floors of the deck. You all feel a sense of unease or shock. The cold beginning to rise all around you. A sense of pressure like something unseen is leaning in. The crew all around you grows quiet. Their voices drop to a murmur. The first mate, you see Rebecca, who's with the captain, pulls out a map, frowns and turns it over as if expecting to find something completely different. She brings out her compass, looks to the skies and says, No, this is... And she begins shouting commands at the crew. Everyone, brace yourself. We have a storm coming in. And you see, at that point, immediately, the entire crew jumps into action. As you see ropes being pulled in, sails being let out. Captain, still at helm, pushing forward. She looks to the circle and says, If you can help, do, but if not, I would suggest you to get to safety.
Was this meant? Did the weather forecast say this was supposed to happen?
We were expecting clear skies. This was supposed to be an easy journey to the island.
Oh boy, throws up one more time, and then like, I'm going to proceed. I don't think I have much strength to help with anything, so I'm going to find rope and I'm going to tie myself to one of the like poles or like masts or something, just so I don't fall off.
Mhm.
And I will try and help in other ways.
Absolutely. What is it? We'll go around the table and ask what each of you are doing. If you're helping or just taking cover for now, and we'll decide accordingly.
Yeah, Jolene, as the fog came in, put the notebook away, pulled the notebook out, put the notebook away, fiddled with the handle, opened her bag, closed the bag, and started just like getting very anxious, very stressed, just like having to do something. Got up, kind of paced back and forth a little bit, sat back down, and then as the first mate has said all these things, and the professor has gone to go tie themselves to the mast, got up and goes, I can help, I know knots, and went over and is like doing a surgical knot to tie you to the, like basically like a suture, but you're the thing being encapsulated, and is just like, okay, we're gonna do like this, like that, okay, all right, anyone else? And is just like, even more than earlier, so high strung right now.
You have to Jolene doing that. Boleta and Sidera and Hansen, what are you doing?
Hippolyta has a working theory on how ships work, but knows that they are just going to get in the way of the professionals.
Mhm.
So they are definitely looking for cover. Also is trying to make sure that none of the many notebooks on their person gets wet by the storm. Is there like is it possible for us to, like, is there a cargo holder somewhere where
There
they
is a
can just
there is a
go?
there is a cargo hold and a chamber just below the deck, so you can take cover if you need to.
Yeah, she's just gonna go below deck. She's not trying to get in the way. Is just like, call me when it's over.
Yeah, the moment you enter below deck, you see this large steam engine burning with life. As you see, you're at the heart of the ship, where it's churning power to keep these steam rolling, big, huge wheels pushing the ship forward. It's hot in here, but you manage to hurdle down, find a safe spot relatively, and for the moment are safe. The books are safe.
Supposedly, but also keeps an eye on the door, just to make sure that if need to exit, also we'll just be able to shoot back up.
Absolutely.
I think Isadora is like not as panicked as she should be. She's kind of like gazing up, kind of completely enraptured at the sky, trying to figure out like if this is if this storm's more of a natural occurrence or maybe something more insidious. Especially since it wasn't planned. And so that's what she's not paying attention to literally anything else, just looking up.
And Harrison,
I think, is doing what he can to keep his eye on whatever horizon is visible. I know you said there's fog, but he's really he just has this gut feeling that he hopes that he sees the flash of the lighthouse to help guide them, because after seeing the first mate and the captain have, a moment of confusion, I think he's a little worried, because they're supposed to be doing their jobs, and if something is preventing them from doing their jobs as professionals, then there's a little bit of a good reason to panic there. So he's trying to stay calm, and he's trying to focus on, on the horizon and seeing what's ahead. And if somebody needs anything, he is super flexible and willing to, get out of the way and help them out as need be.
absolutely. You would get a better read on the horizon if you can get to the crow's nest. If you would like to do that.
Yeah, I'll climb up. And he kind of takes his hat off and stuffs it in his coat as he's climbing up, just so it doesn't fly off.
So you begin climbing up towards the crow's nest, and you see the wind is starting to pick up. There's what was a gentle breeze as you all left the dock has turned into a howling mess of winds pushing pushing the crates and the sails in random directions. This doesn't seem normal. To that point, Isidore, can I have a sense check, please? As you try to look around the skies,
And so
figure out if this is natural or
yes.
if something more sinister is happening over here.
Okay, so I rolled 2 dice. I got a 6 on one and a 3 on the other.
Oh, you take the higher roll. You take
I
6.
roll, okay, 6. Wonderful.
That's a critical success. Everything around you speaks. This is not normal. There's this sense of foreboding that takes root at the depth of your soul, where you almost hear voices. Follow us. Follow us. Follow us. Around you, the storm does not seem normal.
This isn't a storm. It's a beckoning.
A beckoning of what? To where?
I suppose whatever is alive. You don't hear it?
Do the rest of us hear it?
If you hear it, all you hear is the rustling of wind against the hull and the sails flappingly moving back and forth.
I don't, but I'll trust you on that.
It's calling us.
And should we pick up?
We don't really have a choice, do we?
Yes, we do. We could just turn the ship around and go home.
No. I think we follow them.
Okay.
Professor,
Okay, we follow
if we
them.
go back, then we'll not have anything to take with us when we go back. We haven't gotten anything yet.
I know. We could always just, and at the tip of his tongue is make something up, but he stops himself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Let's just, follow them. Yeah, sure.
While
Interesting.
I'm down in the cargo hold, do I see Dr. Pace's bag? Like her big one?
I would say if they have left it there, then yes.
Cool. I'm going to grab that. I would like it near me in case I need to make a quick exit. I feel like out of everybody's stuff, hers is probably going to be the most important to have.
So
Like, and that's including my own stuff. I chose the doctor's things over my own for a hot exit if I needed to get up out of the bottom of that ship fast.
You can do that, absolutely. Also, Harrison, as you get to the crow's nest, you reach on top, make your way, climb up to the crow's nest, and one of the first things that you realize is it's a beautiful sight up here, looking out into the horizon. But that's immediately broken as a gentle rain begins to pour down on you. Just this light simmer of water droplets hitting your face. It hasn't gotten bad yet, but you pick out your spyglass and give a look around to see if you can spot anything. And for that, I would do like a survey roll from you as you're looking around.
All right.
On a lighthouse.
So I have the diamond filled in. Does that mean it's gilded?
That is a gilded action for you.
Okay. And I have 2 filled in. So that's 3 total dice, one of them gilded, correct?
Yes, one of them is gilded.
Great. Here we go. I got a 6, 4, and a 4. 4 is gilded, but the 6 is regular.
Mm-hmm. So it's up to you. What do you want to do?
I will take. I'll take the 6. Might as well.
That's a critical success. Looking through your spyglass, you look around, and about northwest of where the ship is heading, you see quite a ways off, a few 100 miles at least, a thin spire kind of jutting out from the ocean, standing on the edge of a cliff, but heavily shrouded with the fog around it. Your ship is slightly off course. Currently, you're heading north, and where you see this structure is about northwest of you.
Does it? It looks. Is it?
You do see a structure. You're not sure if it is the lighthouse.
But it is. It is a structure. Okay.
It is a structure.
How? I think he's gonna climb back. He's gonna climb back down the crow's nest
Mhm.
and run to the captain and point it out.
He looks up to you. This human probably in his early 40s, bald, blue eyes, has a scrawny looking beard, and he says, "Yeah, I'm on the right direction. What do you mean? Our navigator has got discovered."
You don't see the structure coming up? You don't see that.
What structure? And he looks. I'm assuming you're pointing in the direction and looks towards it. And I don't see nothing, boy.
Captain, with all due respect, I know you're a professional. We need to slow down.
In the storm,
Yeah,
slowing
in
down
the
in the storm
storm.
means. Listen, if we stop in the storm, it means we will all die. We have to keep pushing forward. We have to get out of this storm.
Captain, if we hit the island, we're gonna die as well.
He looks to Rebecca, his first mate and navigator. Rebecca, what is this boy saying? Rebecca just looks at the map. We are in the right direction. And she's just looking through the maps, kind of coordinating. Her compass is just spinning round and round and round.
Can we
She's not
see it?
able
Can I
to.
see it from this perspective? The structure?
From this perspective, you do see heavily fogged. Even with the spyglass, very hard to make, but with that critical success, yes.
Okay, he's gonna take the spyglass and hand it to the navigator. Send somebody up in the crow's nest now. You don't believe
All
me?
right,
Go look for yourself.
all right. Billy, and she shouts out to one of the crewsmen, and you see this young, scrawny-looking boy just look up, who's currently holding down one of the ropes to the sails and just tying it with Dr. Jolene with all of his might. Looks up and says, "You climb up there!" And he just rushes up, catches the spyglass, and begins rushing up towards the crow's nest. While this is happening, uh, Isadora, you overhear this conversation, and that general voice that was calling out to you almost called you out in a completely different direction than what either the captain is heading or where uh, the ship is heading. What Harrison said. You heard the voices calling out to you towards the northeast direction.
They're still saying, follow us, but towards the
Follow us,
northeast.
but towards the northeast. It's kind of slightly more concentrated to your right ear, and you're just like looking in that direction, and you don't see anything there, but it's just this general feeling of calling out to you that seems to be overwhelming you at this moment. In
He's
this
right.
moment.
He's right. Harrison's right. Angle us due northeast. We're going the wrong way.
Now the navigator looks even more confused.
Did we get a description maybe of what the lighthouse looks like?
No one has ever seen the lighthouse. From what records you've been given, it's a regular lighthouse. Except that at the very tip of the lighthouse, there is a flag that waves with the symbol of a setting down sun.
It's like what Harrison saw is like doesn't match up with what we would expect the lighthouse to look like.
Currently, with the fog that seems to be covering the general area around the ship and beyond, he did see a structure, but it resembled a lot like a lighthouse, but even that's a gamble.
That's fair.
Considering the amount of visibility that you're dealing with.
Captain, we need to move.
Maybe we could just slow down. When we get closer, we can. If you have a smaller boat, we can go out and see if anything is near us. I'm half in tears when I say this.
Captain is just, I can keep moving forward or listen to either of you. At this point, it's all up in the air.
Northeast.
Looks to the rest of the circle who's still on the deck. And to the navigator. What's northeast? Still part of the island, Captain.
Northeast is voices, northwest is the structure.
And currently the ship's heading towards north.
Should we do voices?
We're there to investigate, right? It makes sense to go where the thing that needs to be investigated is. And if they're calling from the northeast, then maybe the key to whatever we need to find is in the northeast. And they're calling from the northeast. They're telling us to come there. I told you, it's a beckoning.
But if right before people died, they said it's alive, perhaps we don't go straight to the thing that might have killed them?
Perhaps.
But isn't it better if the thing that's talking is alive than the structure being alive?
Are they not the same?
I don't know.
Look, gang, we've dealt with worse before. Get in. We'll figure out what we need to do.
The two of us are like, have we though? Not sure about that.
As you say that, Harrison, you see a rogue wave slam to the side of the ship,
Oh, shit.
washing some of the crew and knocking them over. Some of the crates that are untied rock over and off board. Luckily, those of you had held ground by tying themselves and close to a mast are safe, while the others are not so lucky, as you see two of the crew members get thrown off board. And immediately, Rebecca gets into action as she starts rushing towards the side of the ship, the port side, where you saw two of her members flailing rapidly beneath the waters that are claiming them.
Oh. Are there like life rings? Like, is there something we can throw? Some sort of flotation device?
There are ropes
Okay.
here, but no life rings.
Okay, well, throw some rope down.
Yeah, Rebecca has basically gotten herself a rope and is throwing it over for them. But you see, it's very hard with the storm and these waves pushing them offward every so often. Hippolyta, you feel the wave hit you down below deck with so much force that you get knocked over for a moment. So close to the engine that it's almost frightening.
Yep. Okay. All right. Below deck bad. Above deck bad. And Hippolyta makes a choice. She grabs her rucksack, throws it on. Is there rope below deck? Like just a scrap of it, not like a ton, just like maybe 2-3
There
feet.
is 2-3 feet. Yeah, that's about
Yeah,
it.
so putting on her own bag, she's gonna grab the rope, and while she's running up the stairs, she's gonna slide it in between like the doctor's like the bag handles, and immediately look for Dr. Pace, knowing that she is probably somewhere freaking out because of the storm. And then upon finding the doctor, is going to just, without asking permission, just tie her bag to her.
Yeah, I think that the doctor with this wave has like, because they've been at the mast where they'd helped the professor sort of get tied off, and they've been just sort of staying there-ish, is like wrapped her arm up into the thing and is like hugging the mast as much as she can in the wake of this wave, just like, no. And you come up with the thing and she's like, yes, I need that, and is like absolutely helping you tie this to herself so that they can have this back, because they're like, this makes me feel safer.
And then I
welcome
guess
top deck.
is going to look for a way to secure themselves on the top of the deck as well, because that engine was real hot. You can start just like so much sweat now is pouring off of them, although you can probably not tell with the storm. So they're all kinds of wet.
I will absolutely do a surgical knot around you as well and help tie you to the mast along with us. It gives me something to do. I'm like, yes, I will do this.
It's 3 people tied to the mast.
Has Hippolyta been below deck the most of the trip?
Not most of the trip, but like when the storm hit,
okay,
she kind of dipped.
Got you.
She didn't want to get in the way, but then she realized, it might be more dangerous down here because fire bad.
I think Harrison comes over to you to check up on you and make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, hi. No, great. Well, not
good?
great, but yeah, no, it's fine. It was just there were a lot of crates down there, and then suddenly the concept of being either steam burned to death or crushed by all the stuff that was down there didn't seem as appealing. So I'm here now.
Great.
What's happening up here?
I don't know. Please be careful.
No.
I can't lose you too.
Same. So get these folks in order so we can get to where we need to be.
I'm trying. Captain doesn't want to listen.
I think at that point,
something's down there, and you see 2 of the crewmates disappear beneath the water. One she was trying to help.
At that point, I just scream at the captain, I don't care if you crash us into the island, get us there now.
Oh, I care a little bit. Maybe let's not.
What if we just flip a coin? Let's flip a coin. Heads we go northwest, tails we go northeast.
Doctor.
Let's go somewhere.
Hey, Dr. Script, go ahead and flip a coin in this wind and see where it goes.
I'll do it.
Gone.
And I start feeling around in like my pockets, and I'm like, shit, fuck, coin. Do I have coins? Have I used coins ever in my life?
Coins are probably a thing.
You do have some spare change in your pockets. You ruffle through your pockets and you find 1 copper piece.
No, okay, wait. No, I'll say that not a copper piece. I'm gonna pull out like some sort of weird, like, I don't know if they'll have arcade machines in whatever this world is, but it's like a fucking like arcade machine coin with like a clown on one side. Maybe it's just one of those things. I'm like, I don't have coins, but I have this. It's my lucky clown, and I will flip that.
Okay, so you flip your coin. What's what?
If the clown is, we go for the structure. The blank side, I guess, I'm out of ideas, is that we go for the voices.
Cotton candy on that side.
Cotton candy, sure. Yep.
Roll me a control check, please. As you're trying to flip this arcane device, that more or less looks like one of those clockwork devices with a few gears turning ever so often, with a clown appearing every time that um, it hits uh, one of the major hours. So you flip that up.
How did you make the clown coin even worse? How'd you do that?
We do what we do. But yeah, go for it. Roll.
If my dice is 0, do I what does
Oh,
that mean?
So you roll 2d6 and take the lower roll.
Okay, got it. That's great. 2. So there goes my clown coin.
So you flip the clown coin and you don't even see where it goes.
Can I say it bounces off of my head before it disappears?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You see, it hits your head and then just vanishes into the fog and the dark night.
Javas, why are you throwing things at me?
I am so sorry. Okay, someone else flip a coin. I am not good enough for this.
Get us to land!
I am trying is all you hear from the captain. But as he does say that, you see a jolt of lightning hit the far end of the ship, the uh, the very back of the ship, and looking at where the lightning hit, for a brief moment, you all see a silhouette of a figure appear. This young girl, probably dressed very prettily. She's but a child. She appears there for a brief moment and disappears.
Great.
Oh,
So, despite the storm and knowing it's a terrible idea, immediately Kapala pulls out one of her notebooks and just starts scribbling as much description of this child as she can remember for later, because she doesn't want to lose that, especially if the child comes back, and just trying to burn that image into her brain. No, not at all. It's going to be smeared, wet, and probably crooked. It's fine.
While you do that, Jolene, in her stress, sees this.
Rebecca, which direction are we going?
And she just runs. She runs to to the northeast, just runs in one of the directions that was being pointed, and then the rope around her waist catches her and she goes boink and falls. And she's just on the deck now, just very freaked out, just not having a good time.
Oh God.
Captain, did this hasn't happened before with any of your other trips here? Yes, right? No?
Never. And he just looks at Rebecca and says, Rebecca decided decision, we are moving towards that. And you see Rebecca just say, keep heading north, that's the best the map is telling us. Unless you all have a better idea.
Jolene, not knowing which way northeast is going to take us, that's just the direction that they ran, points in that direction and goes, get me over there now! And is losing her shit.
Harrison is flipping through his journal to see if Osiris had mentioned anything about any reports from the other circles regarding weather and weather patterns and similar weather patterns.
Just looking through it quickly, if you find that a lot of them had clear weather during the journey. None of them faced any kind of troubles making their way to Ultima Linea.
Why is it us? What did we do?
We showed up.
Yeah, but so did the others.
it's more motivated to meet us personally.
Isadora, is the number 9 sacred or lucky or unlucky?
Oh. Well, that depends on, which culture you're asking. I choose to believe that it's a lucky number.
We're the 9th expedition, so I'm wondering if maybe that's going to be a problem.
Well, it's a lucky number, yes. Mhm.
Ooh, I really hope that's true. You're just not trying to make me feel better. Continues to write very sloppy notes.
And it's getting harder for you to even write at this point because the rain's getting worse and worse. Your pages are getting bad. Your journal's not looking good if you keep on continuing to go on with this.
Yeah, no, it was one of the spare ones, so it's not like anything super important was in it. So if it's wet and destroyed, it's fine. Like, but it's a comfort thing at this point. Just scribbling. Half of the words aren't even real words. It's literally just like loops. Much like the doctor freaking out, but quieter.
Well, the good news is, if we are unlucky, the 10th circle that follows us will be lucky because they'll have your notes to guide them.
That's incredibly optimistic.
Thank you,
Isadora.
Isadora.
Silver linings everywhere. You just have to look for them.
I love the idea of this sort of like little huddle of people sort of trying to reassure each other. And then in the background, you just hear Jolene screeching, Captain, get us over there right now. And is just has fixated on Northeast and is just at the end of their rope, is just pointing and demanding that the captain take the ship there, crash us into the island if you have to. Get me there now. I want off.
And he complies. You see, he turns hard starboard, shifting the wheel, and the entire ship turns with a jolt, crashing against the waves and pushing forward with full speed.
While that's happening, I'm gonna try and not very happily untie myself and against all better judgment, I'm gonna walk towards the back of the ship where the silhouette was.
Mm-hmm. You walk back to the place where you saw the silhouette, and right in that space, you see a burnt, charred, crisp piece of wood, splintered and collapsed in itself.
Can I just if it's not still nailed down to the deck, can I grab that piece of wood?
You can grab a bunch of wreckage from that section, like splinters and odd pieces of wood that have cracked over.
Yeah, I'll grab a piece of the wood and then kind of holding it up like some sort of weapon. I will make my way back, and I'll hold this up to the others as well and just be yeah. So the little girl might have been made out of fire or something. She burnt. Ship piece wood burnt.
Well, the lightning struck it.
But I didn't know Zeus looked like a little girl now, but that's great. Okay.
Doc, I think you might be still drunk.
Did the rest of you not see the girl?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think Harrison saw it.
You see the captain just what girl? Which girl? And he just looks around.
That was a girl.
Captain, I just focus on the ship. We'll take care of the weird stuff.
And you see it. Oh, yeah, of course. And he just gets back onto the helmet. He's focused on making you all get there. Once again, navigating through this rolling storm that has beginning to hinder him and his experience.
Is Billy still up in the top?
Yeah,
in the
Billy is
crow's
still
nest?
up at the top, and he's just looking in all directions, and still he's unable to find anything.
These new sailors these days, useless.
It's about 10 minutes or so past before he finally climbs down and says, I did not see anything. The fog's too thick, Rebecca. And Rebecca just looks, you did good. Go help the captain. And she's just looking out into the open sea just to see what's down there, what's happening.
Harrison goes to this kid and says, "Give me that." And he takes the spyglass and he climbs back up the crow's nest. If you want something done, you do it yourself. Damn it.
Are you keeping a lookout?
Oh yeah.
You do immediately look in that direction, right up straight west, where you saw the structure was, and you see to be drifting further and further away
Further away from it.
Yeah, because we're going towards the voices.
Does it look, I don't know if I asked this already, does it look lighthouse like?
Too hard to make. It was a good success. It had the general structure of a White House, the tapering of the structure to the very top. You did not see any light coming off from it.
Gang, I'm pretty sure this is the lighthouse I'm seeing here. I know the voices are trying to tell us stuff, but I kind of trust my eyes more than I trust a couple of voices.
I mean,
No offense, Isadora. I don't know how many voices you hear on a daily basis, but
not as many as I would like.
right.
Captain still keeping on track on the direction that both Julian and Isidora have told him to.
But if
heading
we
out
just
east.
kind of meet in the middle and then see and go from there.
Well, we are moving away from the structure. I can see
Should
it
we just
not
do
super
straight
clearly.
north? Go back to just doing straight north.
Mm-hmm.
That seems wise.
We keep changing directions. They're not taking us home.
Yeah. But our destination is the island, is the lighthouse. I think, yeah, Harrison's like, gang, I think we might gotta save, we can save voices for another day. Our goal is that lighthouse.
I am probably not the best person to make a decision, so I will leave the decision for the rest of the circle. But I will say, if we've already seen evidence of phenomena on our boat, I think not following their lead will anger them. That is just a warning. That is not saying what we should do. Just be prepared.
Well, I would rather not get incredibly lost out here in a storm, especially when their compasses aren't working. I can see land.
Land we go.
Let's do the structure. Let's do the structure. If nothing else, there'll be something for Jolene to focus on. She'll be able to see something with her eyes.
You're conveying this to the captain?
No, I'm saying this to the circle. Fine, I'm not making decisions. I'm saying that maybe we do the structure so like I know at least that Jolene will have something to fixate on, something like physical to fixate on. Structure. Let's do structure. Fuck.
I mean, these voices, it just follow? What are they telling you?
Just follow us.
Or do you listen
To
to them,
where?
Isadora? They keep changing between follow us. We'll get you to safety. Follow us.
They're saying they'll get us to safety. Of
Have you
course.
personally met these voices?
Oh, of course not. I mean, I perhaps the little girl we just saw, but I wouldn't consider a fleeting glance meeting.
How much do you trust them? Because if memory serves, Kelpie also wants you to follow them into the water so that they can drown you.
Oh, I don't trust them at all, but I am intrigued.
Do we all hear them? The voices?
None of you hear these voices. It's just Isadora.
Hmm.
You might be right. It perhaps may not be the best to allow potentially angry and vengeful spirits to guide us. We don't know. I do find it interesting if we're the only group to experience a storm of this manner. Was there any, I guess, was there any, like, any note that they also heard these voices calling to them? We may be special. They may be calling to us because we appeal to them more. They want to help us.
I don't know. I think after 8 other circles, I don't necessarily think anyone wants us here.
Hmm.
I don't like the idea of
Inclined to
being
agree.
special.
I love the idea of being special.
Not in a storm.
I like the idea of being alive.
We need to make a choice because we are getting farther off course.
Lighthouse.
I will
Potential
say,
lighthouse.
yeah, I will say right now, Jolene is not in your little huddle. She's absolutely screaming at the captain at the edge of her rope, having picked randomly the northeast direction, and is demanding to be let off demanding to be at land now. Get me there. Like, she's not a part of your conversation. So if you're going to utilize her, which absolutely do it, somebody's going to have to talk to her. I just want to point that out. She's not here.
I'm gonna go and like maneuver Jolene from like the northeast to the northwest. I'm gonna like physically like okay. So there's like as I'm talking, so there's a lighthouse there which Harrison can see. So that's like a physical structure that we potentially can like latch onto, and I'm like slowly moving Jolene towards the northwest so she fixates there.
Hey, that's not where we're headed. I thought we were going to land. This is the land? Captain, what's wrong with you? Take us to the land! So, yeah, no,
Yeah.
this way.
You see, Captain looked very confused. Quick direction movement, and
There.
all in agreement.
I suppose.
Yeah,
But-
land,
and then-
please.
I don't care what they want!
Yeah.
Get me to the land now!
He once again spins the wheel to the port side, and the ship jolts to the left, to the northwest direction, once again with a heavy, almost like a grating sound against a hard surface, as the base of the hull itself seems to be like having a hard time pushing through these waves at this point. But
Can I? We have like lights. can I like lean, not fully lean over the edge, but like peer over the edge with the light, like where the crew members fell over?
Mhm.
Like Rebecca said there's something there. There's like, what something? Has the little girl gone from being on our ship to being in the water? Like,
Are you
what
looking
is
down?
something? Why did you ask it like that? Yes, I'm looking down.
Give me a survey roll, please.
Okay. That is a 5 and a 4, so 5.
Grabbing one of the many lanterns that are on the ship, leaning over the deck, you begin to look around to see if you spot anything. And your breath is caught. Your heartbeat stops for a moment as you see this large figure kind of swimming in tandem with the ship, parallel to it, a few hundred feet below it. Its form barely recognizable to you. It just moves and floats alongside it.
I pull back immediately, turn around, sit down again. And I hold up the lantern like, uh, if there's someone swimming down there, does
You found the
anyone else want
sailors?
to look?
You found the sailors? They need to get up here to help us.
No, whatever it is should not get up here. No. Oh God, please let's go to land. And I scramble, like I'm on all fours now, like scrambling away from the edge. And I have reached where Jolene is, and I'm doing the same thing Jolene is doing, but I'm like holding on to like her rope now, and I'm like, land, oh my God, land, please get me off this godforsaken ship.
Does anyone else look over?
Yes.
Yeah, the curiosity is entirely too much, so.
Yeah, I actually like as the professor comes over to me, I then like slowly walk us back to where you just came from because I am like, wait, but what do you mean there's something there?
No.
And I am gonna I'll just take
No.
the lamp from you and like pat you. You can stay there. And I'm just gonna like also lean over to take a peek.
The three of you lean over, looking at the ocean. The depths of it doesn't seem to be anything down there. Could have just been an illusion, trick of the mind, perhaps. Are you really sure that you saw it, Dr. JavaScript?
Oh, what is this personalized hell that you've created for every single one?
You don't
I
see
think
anything.
Jolene goes, spit out that gum now.
Oh, I swallowed it a while ago.
Oh!
Oh, okay.
Well, cool. Maybe give me the flask. I'll take the alcohol from you. You don't need any more of that.
I hand you an empty bottle.
Yep. Yeah, I still tuck it into the like folds of the pouches that I've made inside my skirts. We're gonna get to land. It's okay.
Doc, I
Land.
love you to pieces. I'm not giving you another cigarette anymore.
Why not? You chew one cigarette and then people just stop giving you things.
It's okay. Let's go back to the mast. We'll let these nice people work.
away from the edge. Away from the edge.
Yep. Harrison, can you
Yeah.
guesstimate how close we are?
It could be anywhere between a half mile to 2. It's not super clear, but it is getting closer.
Let me
As you
see.
look-
Let me
as
see.
you look
I want to
through
see.
the spike
I'm up top. I'm up in the crow's nest, so I'm way up top, Jolene. I'm like 30 feet above you.
I untie myself and climb the crow's nest.
Oh, there's
Oh,
no. There's no.
I untie myself and I climb the
there-
crow's nest.
There's no space for 2 of us up here.
give me a move check, Jolene.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
As you're trying to
Oh
navigate
no.
and climb a very slippery mast,
Yep.
the ladder is slick with water and it's getting harder with the wind.
I did roll a 6. I am determined.
With this newfound determination of finding land, Dr. Jolene, you are more or less climbing with intent as you leap up and forward, and within a few moments are right next to Dr. Harrison. Though the space is cramped here, you situate yourself just enough where you both have enough space and you're right up to him.
Good
I
evening,
like
Professor.
an arm and I'm like still in the entry part. Like you're in the thing and I'm still like halfway out and I'm just like, let me see it. I need to see it.
You're gonna have to come get this for me. I can't move.
Get it here. And I'm just gonna like almost attack you a bit aggressively to get it from you.
Oh my God. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Here you go. Here, take it.
All right, and I'm gonna look. Where was it? Show me.
And he points off in the direction that he sees the lighthouse.
Yeah, so which please.
All right. Oh, I
Can
only
I-
have 1 in survey.
Can I
oh,
assist? Is that something I can
Yeah,
do? Can I help?
absolutely. As you're pointing in that direction to them, you can add another dice to it.
okay.
Is that? Do I spend a drive for that?
Yes, you do spend a drive for it.
All right. I got a 4.
Beautiful. Looking through the spyglass, with the help of Harrison pointing you in the northwest direction when he originally saw this looming structure out into the fog, you do see it approaching at a very rapid pace, much faster than you originally thought your journey should be taking. Uncannily, you feel confident.
There is
Maybe another hour.
a sigh. And you can like Harrison, you visibly see tension leave Jolene's body as she like sees land.
Oh shit!
She goes,
Finally.
we're on course. It's gonna be okay. We just need to wait a little while. I just linger. I just linger for like an awkward length of time, just really taking in. And then I slowly hand the glass back over to you and I go, thank you for getting us in the right direction.
You know, what can I say?
You're
Let me just
welcome. You're
kinda-
supposed to say you're welcome when somebody says thank you to you.
Right. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm gonna go back down now.
Slowly begin climbing down. Harrison, you swear it should have been another half a day's journey from the mainland. Your head's in a scramble.
Yeah, that makes sense. That feels right.
And I get back
He's
down
doing
and I
well.
go, Professor, you've got like a pocket watch or something, right?
I may have thrown it when I was trying to flip a coin. That may have been my watch.
Oh, that's what you hit me with?
Maybe.
Okay,
But
well,
I can count on my fingers if you.
sure. It'll be like an hour.
Okay, in my head, I start doing like 1, 2, 3. No, that's too fast. 1, 2. No, that's too slow. And I start doing that to like start counting to like an hour and like in the back of my head constantly as like a passive.
As you continue to move further and further towards the lighthouse, Isadora, that voice. No, no, that's not the right direction. This way, back, here.
I'm sorry. I don't have control over them. Why don't you come to us?
But there's this mean people there.
No.
There's mean people there. Did they hurt you?
No, but they look bad, and we don't like them.
Maybe we can go scare them away.
We won't go there.
That's okay. You don't have to. That's what we're here for. Are you causing this storm?
No. It's those
No?
mean people.
Oh. Do they not want us to come?
I'm not sure.
Huh. Apparently there's mean people the way that we're going.
I don't care. There's land over there. We have a heading.
Hey, Lenny.
Mhm.
Can I use my scout ability that I just realized that I had on my character sheet? If you have time to observe a location, you can spend 1 intuition to ask a question. What do I notice here that the others do not see? What in this place might be of use to us? What path should we follow?
No.
I swear to God, if we turn around again, the captain's just going to kick us overboard.
All right. So you're using the scout ability. You've had plenty of time to look at the structure, look at its position. You've had time to even inspect the maps of this island, and you're dead certain that this is the way to the lighthouse. That is the lighthouse. Is there anything specific that you're looking for? That you're uncertain about and you need certainty about?
The certainty that Harrison needs is I don't want us to die. I would like us to get there safely. If I can get us there safely.
Good question. You do remember reading from the maps and the previous records is that heading straight towards the lighthouse is actually a little difficult because there are reefs surrounding the outer edges of the lighthouse, the island itself. So people head straight north where there is a dock port. And that knowledge comes to you with the same lightning bolt that hit the deck a few moments ago, as you realize that you're heading towards a reef.
Captain.
So the first mate was right all along.
Captain, we're a lot closer than we thought.
What?
Head due north. We're about to hit a reef.
Your
Now.
words reach a moment too late. As all of you hear
No.
this loud rumbling sound, stone grating against wood.
Oh, I'm so sorry, gang.
It wasn't your fault. You
This
tried.
is entirely my
So
fault. I tried way too late.
This is classic Classic TTRPG.
As
This is
everyone,
appropriate that we are this chaotic, so we're good.
as all of you are thrown forward, as the ship itself begins to rock between these reefs, water begins to fill in the lower decks. The captain has no moment of trying to situate the ship itself because the ship is stuck now. Everyone, there's a robot. Now! And he shouts orders to his crews to abandon the ship.
Professor, after you.
Oh, oh no 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 no! I'm going in. I'm not going in first. There's something down there. I am not going in first.
Sorry, I was referring to Jolene. That is
I'm not the
that is my bad.
professor.
Yes, I realize that now.
Yeah. I love
Doc,
the
after
idea
you.
that you call us by the wrong epitaphs all the time. And we just punish you by responding to the correct ones.
Yeah,
And
oh,
so
of
you're
course.
like, Doctor, do the thing. And then I talk instead of Javas. And you're like, fuck. Yeah, Jolene is just gonna untie you from the mast. And like, you're still tied to the other end. She's just gonna walk with the rope with you to the boat.
You first. You first.
Sure.
Honestly, us all being tied together isn't necessarily a bad idea. Because then we won't lose each other if the rowboat.
Yes, but that means if one of us goes down, all of us goes down. Which,
Not necessarily, because 1v5, we could just pull you back up. Or at 4? Yes.
you have so much faith in us. It's great.
So these are relatively smaller rowboats where 4 people can sit sufficiently well, and if all 5 of you need to sit in one rowboat, it will be a little bit of a cramped situation, and it will be a lot slower to row essentially.
How
Getting
many
in.
rowboats are there? Are there
Yeah,
enough for us to spread out comfortably?
I feel like we should probably have a sailor with us on these boats, because I'm not trying to row anywhere.
There are
I know how to row a rowboat.
There are
Okay.
4 rowboats for all of
I
you.
think we should do 3 in one and 2 in another. I've
Yeah.
got the professor, so we're at least together. Somebody want to join us? No? Okay, the 3 of you are together.
Okay, we can just
Well,
do like doctor and professor.
So the 3 of you together, the 2 of you, Rebecca joins you. The captain joins the 3 of you, and the 2 other crewsmen who are currently essentially getting their bearings together, loading the rowboats, and helping the rest of you situate yourself. Take the last rowboat. Now, so I'm assuming that you're letting Rebecca handle rowing the boat, getting you to safety. I will shoot you.
I do harass
Well-
Rebecca slightly, and I'm like, are you sure that's the correct direction to the land? You're the one who knew what we were supposed to be doing to begin with, so that's probably good. But are you sure? I just want to know that you're sure.
I just slowly push Jillian like away from Rebecca. Let her row. Let her row, please. Please.
The storm, I am not sure anymore. I'm not sure of anything anymore. And
You feel tension in my body instantly as I'm next to you.
but
Gently
she
just
has
patting
been,
your head.
she's just rowing the boat with all of her might. Just hoping you all reach mainland now. The 3 of you with the captain. You're letting the captain take helm at rowing, or Harrison, you're taking shot at it.
At rowing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Harrison he's on the case.
All right, then I would like you to give me a move check, please.
Gosh, okay. All right, here we go. So how do we feel about the number 1? How does that make us feel?
Danger.
Your robot lands onto the water with all of you. The two crewsmen lowering your boat did not see that there was a reef just below, hidden away in the waves. The robot slams against the reefs and the stones and immediately splinters, leaving all of you to lash and throb against the roiling waves all around you.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry, gang.
What are you doing? The three of you.
Apologies.
Now somebody should have come with the professor and the doctor, huh? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I'm doing my best. I'm trying so hard.
Is the boat like wrecked? Are we like, can it still
The
float?
boat is absolutely wrecked. You're trying to swim afloat. You're trying to keep afloat.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Well-
I suppose Isadora's like shedding some of the extra layers as she tries to like swim up.
Oh, you're all aware. You're still afloat. It's difficult and it's getting more and more harder to keep afloat as you're all slowly starting to drift away from each other. Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's take a quick 5. Yeah, let's take a quick 5 minutes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
5 to 10 minutes. I know we sometimes I get lost in the narrative and I lose track of time. But yeah, this is a very good place to stop, and we pick right from here.
While the three of them are drowning.
Picking right where we left off before the break started. The three of our investigators are currently fighting for their lives in a violent thunderstorm in the ocean, trying to stay afloat. Slowly drifting away from each other. What are the three of you doing? The captain seems to be grabbing onto the hull of the ship and is trying to reach out to the people who are closest to him, but is still failing at it. While you all are slowly drifting away from each other. What are you doing here? How are you trying to keep?
How far away is the land, and is there a way to like when surfers get knocked off their boards, can we just sort of parallel to the land until it's safe to break and head towards it?
You can absolutely do that. Looking towards where the structure is, it would be a very hard parallel swim towards it, but you can see the land, and it might take you a bit of a time.
Trying to decide if that's the way to go, or if I should try to get back to like the big ship, even though I think it's actively sinking since we hit reefs.
Yes, it's actively sinking at this point. It's been capsized and it's currently fixed to the reef.
How close are we to the ship?
You do see the crew immediately taking out another rowboat from the other side of the ship and bringing it this side so that you have another ship rowboat drop down. But it's going to take them a bit. But during this time, while they're doing this, how are the three of you trying to not drift away from each other?
That is a good question. Well, the two of you are tied together, right? Crypt and Jolene? Are you two still tied together?
Yeah, we're also on our boat.
Yeah, we are fine. We're okay.
Oh, that's right.
Aside from maybe going the wrong direction, we're fine.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, do we see the three of them, just the four of them, including the captain, I guess? But do we see them
in the thunderstorm? Looking back, you do see their rowboat lowered and immediately break off. So yeah, you do see, but Rebecca has started rowing and you're quite a ways away from her.
Oof. And there are no other empty boats, like the crews, like.
So there is another robot, but it's on the opposite side of the ship, and the two people who are basically on the duty of dropping the robots is getting it, pulling it essentially to the side where they can drop it again here.
Okay, can I like again? Horrible for Jolene right now, but can I like ask Rebecca to like maybe not like not drive away, not not row away as quickly as possible. So like just so we're kind of like pause, like stop there for a bit to make sure like the three of them are like okay, they get onto like the boat.
She slows down her rowing, but she still has to because the waves will push the rowboat away, further and further away.
Yeah, like so, like can she keep rowing to like just keep us in place instead of like moving away from like the three of them, just as like a last minute thing of like making sure they get onto something.
Tire her faster because she has to push against.
Can I help? I can either help. I can either help in rowing. I can help like I don't know like massage her shoulders while she's rowing so she doesn't like tire. I still have the broken piece of wood in my hands. I can try and like stake that onto like a reef or something to like hold us in place.
So you, if you're trying to stake that,
we can make an anchor. We've rope.
We could, but what would you put at the end of it? What heavy stuff do we have?
You. No, wait, hang on. Hold on. That's not.
Okay, just because I threatened to kill you during break doesn't mean you can actually throw me overboard.
I didn't mean to throw you overboard. I meant to use you as the holding point in the boat and then use, oh my god, use your piece of wood. And we can jam it. We can like toss it in and get it jammed into the reef.
Yeah, we can.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. I can throw it and like try and get it stuck onto like one of those like X thingies where we like kind of get it like stuck onto like a crack in like the rocks or something.
Yeah.
Just keep us in place for a little bit while the three of them kind of get onto like the empty rowboat.
Saying you'd use them as an anchor is crazy work.
It's not what I meant.
That's what you get, I guess.
Java.
You swallow one ball of tobacco and now you're an anchor.
Hey, it definitely weighs you down.
Dr. Grip, if you're doing that, I would like first of make a strike check for me. As you're basically using this piece of wooden stake that you found to jam it into one of the reefs.
Okay. Big oof.
Which roll is this one?
Strike. Strike.
That is a 5 and a 6, so a 5.
5. You're able to so you find one of the reefs that are still a little softer than what looks like the rest of its colony, and you jam it into it hard enough where you're able to hold on to it, and it looks affixed to the point where the robot itself is not moving any further, but you'll have to keep holding on to the stake itself.
I can do that. I'll do that until like everybody is situated again.
Yeah, while Rebecca is continuing to row, this has reduced the effort it would take her to keep you all in the same spot. Coming back to the three of you.
I guess just I'm kicking and like trying to get to either the nearest boat that's at me or near me, or like a big piece of wood that I can cling to.
Right. Give me. So let's do this. Why don't you all give me, the three of you, give me a move check to see how good your tier staying not only afloat, but also making your way towards one each other.
So if we don't have any dice in that, we use one of our drives?
So what you do is you roll 2d6 and take the lower roll.
Okay. No, that's a 1.
Me too. I also got a 1.
Twinsies!
Wow.
Stop it, both of you. Stop.
I gotta stop making move rolls.
Don't do this to yourselves. We need you to survive.
I got a 4.
Hippolyta rolls a 4. Okay. Let me check this. So Hippolyta, looking around, you see the captain right in front of you, trying to grab onto you, and he does, because you're the closest to him when you were on the rowboat. He grabs onto your arm and pulls you to the ship, the hull of the ship, and keeps you affixed to it, while looking around for the two of your other investigators, your friends. You look around and they're gone. You don't see them anymore.
No, Hippolyta starts freaking out. You have to find them. You have to find Harrison. Where did they go? What direction did they just constant freaking out, like almost trying to dive under the water to see if she can see them under the water.
As you dip down into the water to look around for them, you see both Harrison and I'm forgetting names. Isadora is being pulled by the waves towards one of the reefs and gets slammed against it with such force that it knocks them unconscious immediately. They are kind of in a space of a crevice-like space where they are kind of stuck between these reefs. They're not moving anymore.
How far away from me are they on this reef?
They're about 60 feet away from you.
Oh, Jesus, that's not a lot of time or a lot of oxygen. Okay,
You see the captain look at the both of you. Did you see them?
Yes, they're under the water. They're stuck on the reef. They're not moving.
Fucking... Oh, he abandons. Stay fixed. I'll get them. And he shouts to Rebecca, who is here, and says, "Rebecca, get the boat here!" And immediately submerges down. And Braga is beginning to rush towards them. Both of you, I would like both of you take a body mark. That too consecutive ones on your checks, as you all felt the waves overwhelm you. And in that moment of helplessness, you are knocked unconscious. All you feel is blackness and that sense of coldness around you for that moment. And while this is happening, you see Rebecca beginning to row back towards the others. Anything the two of you or the three of you doing before we continue to push this forward?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You said we're out, right? Like we're
No,
unconscious, right?
Yeah.
not the two of you. The other three.
Okay.
Did the two of us on the other boat, like, I know Hippolyta noticed that, but did the two of us also like register that they've just been like knocked out?
You didn't notice them being knocked out, but you did hear the captain shout out to Rebecca to get here.
Okay. Then while Rebecca is rowing towards the captain, can I like make... might not be the best idea. Can I like actively, like the way Jolene said, like make an anchor with like a rope as well? So potentially I could try and lightly like throw it into the water and lightly tap one of them on the head and wake them up. I don't know if that's how
You're really good at
unconscious
hitting people in the head
work.
with things, so I approve this.
What are you using for your anchor again?
I have the burnt wood, like the lightning struck wood from the ship, and
Would not
can
float.
I
It would just float out.
can
Because
I
it's wood.
grab then like can I like grab like stone or something from like the place that I jammed the wood into to keep us in place?
Is that
Then yeah, so I'll just wrap like the stone and the wood together in like a rope, and like as we get closer, and if I can like figure out where the two of them are, try and just like throw it down, tap like them on the head and like wake them up.
Okay, so you do that. Okay, it takes about a minute or so. The captain is a trained swimmer, and you've seen from the previous experience, Osiris has spoken highly of him, and it doesn't take him too long to reach both of you. But he's having a hard time getting both of you afloat because um, the storm and the waves are not making it any easier on him. But he manages to get both of them afloat, keeping them high up above the waves while he's still submerged beneath the water. Um, Rebecca begins to row further and further towards them, as fast as she can. It's at this point the crew sees this, and uh, two of them who are still on top lower one of the other rowboats and get on it and begin jumping into the water to help the captain. Um, they grab both of you and pull you onto the rowboat, turn around to help their captain, and their captain is gone.
Fuck.
Did we?
Can
did
I
we see?
can I see him?
If you're talking beneath the waters,
If I just tuck beneath the water again, can I see him?
see him breathing, reaching his hand out towards the surface of the water, but something seems to be pulling him further and further down.
Oh no.
You don't see any form of vigor, but a stretch of him just being pulled down.
So this isn't normal like sinking and drowning. This is pulling down.
His force
This
pulling
is
down. He is struggling.
Advanced pulling down.
He's
Oh,
struggling to
no.
swim up, but something is pulling him further and further down.
Okay, so I also need to get out of the water now.
Yes. Can you get on our? We have 3 people.
Rebecca gets to you at this point and pulls you up onto their boat. While the other two people,
Something grabbed him. Something grabbed him. There's something in the water.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Really?
Yeah, there was like a thing
Meow?
swimming next to the ship.
Yeah, feel validated later. A man is drowning.
Okay. Well, haha. Told you so. Sorry. Can I switch courses and now instead of like they're already out of the water, so now can I just try and like
Mhm.
throw the improvised anchor in and try and hit whatever is like pulling him in? This is like a stretch, I guess, but just I can't. I don't know if I can see because I refuse to put my head into the water.
I will.
No, you will not. I will
do.
actively hold you back. I will actively
do.
try and pull you back if you do.
You're trying to throw something. I dip over the boat and I put my head in the water because somebody said that there was a thing here again. I need to see it. Do I see anything?
You look down, all you see is a man getting pushed further and further into the depths. The slow bubbles of his breath rising to the surface, and he disappears.
Do I see even the slightest hint that there is like a creature?
That you can see.
No? Oh.
Oh no.
I'm going to come back up and I'm going to turn to Javas and say, are you sure there's something down there? I'm going to also look at Hippolyta.
So I know what I saw. He wasn't just sinking, he was being dragged.
Okay, I'm gonna grab
I
the
saw
anchor rope,
something swim down there.
wrap it around myself,
No,
and
no, no,
wrap it,
no,
and then I
no.
rip the skirts, and I'm just in bloomers now, and I'm gonna go over the edge.
Nope. Grab.
Nope. The second
And then I'm like immediately
Jolene
back up at
starts
the edge of
doing
the boat.
that.
I'm like, no, this is
No.
counterintuitive. Let me go. Let me get him. You just wait until I need it, and then pull me up.
The second Jolene starts doing that, and I have worked with this person for a while. I know the kind of stuff they get up to. I'm just gonna like actively start untying the rope, like, and like pulling her back. Like you're not even going into the water. Don't even think about it.
You see,
This is
the robot
like
that you're on
having a cat.
rocks back and
This is
forth.
like having a cat that is actively trying to kill itself.
You see
Okay.
the two boatmen who are on the other boat look at you, Doctor, and say, "Doctor, we need help. They are not breathing. Please."
How far away is land? This could get difficult to do in boats on a storm.
You are not sure. You do see the land ahead of you. You can start
Can we
rowing and
lash the two boats together so we don't lose them?
you can rope them together, essentially. Tie
Yeah.
them together. They're both anchored at least to one another.
If
Yeah.
possible, that maybe
there.
the doctor could go over to the other boat and we could take one of the crewmen.
You can do a
So
swap.
so that, like Jolene can maybe start like helping out Harrison and Isadora.
Yeah. I'm still in my bloomers because
It'll be easier that way.
it'll be easier that way. And I tell you to don't let my skirts fall overboard. They have stuff in them. And I'm gonna go over to the other boat.
I'll put the skirts on, just to be sure. I don't want to have to deal with like holding on to the skirts. I'll put them on.
You get onto the other boat. One of the crewsmen gets on your boat. They are not breathing. You see
Okay.
that they are bleeding at the back of their head. There is a sizable wound, and touching it, you see blood pooling on your hands.
I am going to kind of, I guess I'll start with Isadora. I'm going to sort of, because I think they're probably a little slighter, a little easier to maneuver. And so I'm going to position them so that their head is down, and then I'm going to tilt it to the side, and I'm going to like massage them a little bit because I don't want to be forcefully yanking their head around, and I don't want to be jostling them a bunch. But I'm going to try and massage them initially to see if they've got enough physiological like reactivity still left to start spitting the water up themselves.
You'd have to do it forcefully. You're pretty sure that they've been underwater for quite a lot of time.
Okay, so they're like fully out.
They're fully out, fully unconscious.
Okay, cool. This is gonna hurt. I reposition you into the middle of the boat, and I put my weight over you, and I do the chest compressions, and I do the mouth to mouth, and I chest compression again, and I tell the sailor, put a foot on her belly. Just to try and help pushing, just getting the pushing upward motion. And I'm gonna do resuscitation. It's gonna suck. CPR is gruesome, you guys. In real life, CPR is bad.
But yeah, this immediate CPR is what they needed in this hour of moment. As a moment later, Isadora, you spit out water. The brine, salty taste.
And as soon as you're spitting something out, you're yanked by the collar of your dress and kind of shoved to the side. And I say, get to the edge of the boat. I need to get to Harrison. And I'm just like forcefully moving you out of the way.
Oh, God. I suppose she like tries to crawl and listens, probably still a little disoriented.
For sure. And then I haul Harrison into the center of the boat, and I do the same. And I'm like, "Hey, sailor, foot again!" And then I'm just chest compressions, CPR, just going with mouth to mouth, chest compressions again. I'm telling the sailor to like move your foot, dig the heel in a little, just to try and get him to like spit that water up.
This takes a little bit more time because the cramped space and the crew having to row the boat simultaneously. But a minute later, Harrison, you to spit out that brine salt
Can
water.
before that happens, do you mind?
Mhm.
Can I take the camera for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay. In this moment where Harrison is unconscious, I think our camera fades to black and comes back through the perspective of someone, and we can see Harrison stand up, and he's looking around, and it's dark, and there's a flash, and a portal of energy is pulsating this light off of his face, and he's looking, and he sees the face of his brother Landon as Landon is being pulled into the flare, and it's completely silent. And I think there's a moment where time stops. And then we hear Landon's voice say, "It's not your time yet, kid." And then he flashes back.
As you get back to consciousness, you feel in your hand a bag of cigarettes clutched tightly, holding on to your life. And that memory of your brother.
Are we there yet?
No, now give me your head, and I'm gonna like force you to bend over, like you're still disoriented too. I bend you over so that I can see the back of your head, and like as soon as I like splash some alcohol on that, that's going to trigger the shock is gone. You're just there now, I'm sure, in your body. As I'm like, all right, I just got to make sure there's no pieces of debris. Oh lordy, you did a number on this. All right. This is, I cannot stitch this while we are on the boat, but I think you're fine. Just sit
You think
still.
I'm fine?
You're bleeding a little bit, but you're just sit still. Just sit still. Just sit still. And you, Isabella. Nope, Isadora. I don't know why I keep calling you the wrong name. Isadora, you've got to bleed too. Come here.
Oh no, I'm all right. That looked like it hurt. Damn
I have to make sure you don't have any rocks in your head.
I mean,
You reach into
my
the
mother
back
would
of your
say
head.
yes.
There is a cracked piece of stone. That you pull out.
All right.
Hey, look, an amethyst.
Find more crystals.
It's a witchy crystal.
All right, do you let me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think as a sense of the like urgency is like diminishing, I'm not quite as rough with you, but like it is on a boat. It is not an easy, like I'm like being jostled around with you, and I'm like trying to hold your head steady in relation to me, so it's like an awkward position. But I splash some alcohol on there to wash things away, and that stings real bad. I move your hair around. I find the piece. I go to pull on it. It's stuck in there a little bit, and I go, all right, hang on. And I pull a pin off of my hair tie, and I use it to pry This is a little stitching needle, but I use it to push down and pry this chunk of rock out of having like embedded itself in you a little bit and just pop it out.
Oh,
It's not too big. It's just small.
Just
Just
just enough
yeah.
that it was a problem and I had to pop it out. And
I'm
pop
pretty
it
sure
out.
that any rock of any size in your head is big enough.
It's
a
too big.
Too big. Too big for your head. But yeah, the entire while was all of this revival, resuscitation, CPR was happening, the crew was pushing their hardest to row the boats and push towards the shore. And 30 minutes into all of this, you finally see a stretch of land appear, still very heavily covered by fog. So your visibility is a little off, but you do see a shore appearing in view. And with newfound uh, strength, both Rebecca and the crew that was rowing began to push further and further ahead. Another 30 minutes pass before all of you finally reach a shore, collapsing onto the mainland, the shore of this island. The storm long behind you. Is all you hear.
Can we
is
see the lighthouse now?
looking behind you, you do see a looming large structure. A lighthouse comes into view, currently turned on, as you see flickering of lights every 10 seconds, at an interval of 10 seconds.
That's a sight for sore eyes.
I literally just fall onto the beach and stare at the lighthouse. And I just lay down.
Once we are on the land and I kind of get my sea legs, my bearings. I just immediately scramble over to Harrison and just like, okay, I need you to stop trying to be a hero, cause no, stop. We're in this together, but sometimes you have to let other people do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
You're upright, you're talking. I am soaked to the bone, but I'm all right.
Good.
Let's give the doctor a moment, but I think you're going to require some stitches.
Professor, can I have my petticoats back? I feel naked.
Apologize.
Yeah. I take
The background.
Yeah, this is like you're having like your like little like
Yeah, just in the background we're like getting dressed.
in the background. The two of
So
us
this
are just,
hysterical scene is happening in between me admonishing my cousin because he keeps trying to do stuff.
Yeah, I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him? In the water?
No, I saw him the night he was taken. He said it wasn't my time yet, I guess.
Okay, see that? So either you slipped into another plane,
or it was just a memory.
Okay. Hold on to that. We'll unpack it later. Right now we've got a lighthouse to sort out.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm glad you're okay.
Glad you were too.
And I will I'll go easy.
Look, there is bleed and flares and all of that is scary, but your mom is scarier. I am not trying to go back home and tell her I lost you too.
I know. I know. I'm gonna do what I can to make sure that we both get home safe. Not that you need protecting by any means, but you know, we're getting home.
Yeah. Okay.
My head hurts.
Yeah. And then I guess after Doc is dressed again, I will will take Harrison over to them where I'm assuming Isadora is already getting stitched.
Took quite a bump there.
It's okay. Nothing cracked the skull. The skin just likes to bleed a lot right here.
Holding like a light up while like Jolene is stitching.
We made it to land.
That's the best part of this whole thing.
How are we going to make it back?
I don't want to think about that.
That's a later problem, I think.
All right. You're set. You let me know if it gets hot and itchy.
Okay. Thank you. I think that feels like a good job.
Next. I look at you.
Please go easy on me.
I don't have any painkillers. And I push your head over so that I can start.
Crypt, I need that bottle, please.
So that one's already empty, but if you don't mind drinking the ethanol that Jolene has.
Immediately I snatch it up. This is for cleaning wounds.
He takes his journal and he puts it in his mouth.
It's not that bad. They're just, you're already, like, that part of your head is all, I almost said that part of your brain. That part of your head is already in so much pain that, like, the very sharp little needle going through is barely detectable. You feel like maybe a bit of pressure, but, like, it's not that bad.
Easy for you to say.
Now that I know that he's safe, can I... So we know that the lighthouse is behind us. What is, like, our immediate surroundings?
Absolutely. Your immediate surroundings, looking in the direction of the water around you, you see that the crewmates are currently pulling up the rowboats and tying them to the stones and getting them ashore, essentially. You do see Rebecca kind of drifting to the west of the island, kind of towards one of these higher cliff points where something has caught her attention and she's just moving in that space. Around you, you're completely surrounded by a forest behind you, and a little further up you do see a cliff outcropping where you see the actual lighthouse is. There's just this thick foliage of forest behind you and water in front of you.
Rebecca's walking towards the cliff with the lighthouse?
She's walking, so there's another stone outcropping, this large stone on the shore itself, where she is just moving towards.
Okay. Can we follow? Because I would like to, like, just follow.
Yeah, I want to know what she's looking at.
She kind of looks behind you as she hears footsteps behind her. Oh, you see something there, and she points towards in between the stones, and you do see, now that she's pointing out, kind of fixed, or I don't know how to put this in words, but placed in a certain angle, kind of stuck between these two crevices of this rock, is a sizable bell. Silver bell.
So, okay. Does it have any writing on it, or is it just a big old like church bell?
Like a big old church bell, essentially. It has decorations on it, but no writings per se.
I look at pull it up. Like, should we?
I mean, it's polite. And then she's
like,
gonna step back and cover her ears.
Oh, Rebecca
I'm
follows.
gonna get closer and oof, I really want to lick the metal. I really want to lick the bell because it's metal and it's near a sea and it might taste nice.
I'm sorry, what?
Bell.
You
it's
lick
metal.
You lick bells? At the sea? That's a thing?
No, it's I assume the brine would make the surface of the metal taste nice.
Okay.
Certainly it's salty and metallic at the same time.
That's not something I have ever heard of. I'm very confused.
It's a How I Met Your Mother joke, maybe?
No, this is me and my penchant for wanting to lick things in games all the time. I'm sorry.
No, this is totally cool.
Yeah,
I just had never heard of this, and that's fascinating.
I thought you were going to like ring the bell, not
I
lick
was,
it.
but I am going to.
Okay,
I just want to give it like.
Okay. How about this? Is this something we've
and
seen you
then
do
ring it.
before? It's just lick weird things to figure out. That way, I can react accordingly.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Just
Hell yeah.
because this is an April character, I'm gonna say he has. He absolutely has licked stuff before.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Random bells sitting at the side of the sea, perfectly fine for you to lick. Weird,
Slightly moldy,
sticky
as well.
substances, please don't lick.
Come
Slightly
on, man.
moldy.
You don't know how long that's been there for.
That's the fun of it. You know, you learn. If I make it out, then it was all good. And nothing has killed me so far. So. And then I ring the bell.
Are you a professor? You teach people these things?
Oh, they haven't let me teach a class in like 2 years because like the one I had before that kind of gave me really bad reviews. But I think that's just because the kids nowadays don't really want to learn things, you know?
Sure. Yeah, the kids. The kids, yeah.
But they haven't taken my as like a brief pause, my degree away from me yet. So anyways, cover your ears.
Do you have your teacher's license?
Oh yeah, of course.
I
rummage around in one of my like hoodie pockets, and
I believe you.
Why are you carrying that around?
Do you not need a form of ID wherever you go? I put the wallet back in my pocket.
I just like that specifically. Okay, yeah, no, go ahead. Let's
just
let people know we're here.
Someone questions, like, if someone
the
asks
validity of your
living.
Yeah.
Look, man, the periphery aren't here. They don't care what ID you do and don't have.
Super quick question right before you ring the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Isadora, are you with the group or are you elsewhere?
I think she came with the group. She doesn't wander off on her own, but she's probably not. She's probably like looking around and trying to figure out if like she sees the little girl again, or like what if there's anything odd around. So that's probably what she's focused on. She's like hearing you, but not really listening.
So they're having a bell licking conversation. I'm going to I'm going to sort of step up beside Isadora and just kind of like look around with you and then ask, do you hear them again?
Do I? Do I still hear them saying follow us or anything else of that nature?
Give me a sense roll.
Okay. Where is 5?
You do hear muffled cries, almost as if these distant warbled voices. This cacophony of sounds overlapping one another, but nothing that seemed like the voices that you heard back at the deck.
I hear something, but not distinguishable. And it's not beckoning us any longer. It's. I almost get the feeling in distress.
Is it in the same direction?
It's just all around you. There's
It's
just this
everywhere.
kind of like a white noise surrounding all around you, and it's distracting. You almost have to knock yourself back and forth between hearing them and back to this conversation.
I'm so sorry. They're very loud, but also not loud enough.
If they're a singular entity that we have moved away from, I would expect them to be difficult to hear, but have a singular direction.
Well, I think
But
this
if
is different. I don't hear. The original voice was so specific. This is like a chorus. Only not a musical one.
do you think it's the island?
Perhaps.
I'm going to reach down. I'm going to find a rock that's like embedded into the ground a bit, and I'm going to like yank on it and rip it out in a like forceful way that would be potentially distressing to something that is alive if it is attached to having that embedded in itself. And I'm going to try and like hurt the island to get a response. I don't know.
You pull out the biggest stone that you see around you, the sizable stone out from, and it's kind of stuck to the shore, but it takes you a couple of minutes to pull it out. You look around, look in Isidora's direction to see if any reaction, to kind of queue for any reaction, but none.
Anything
No.
change? No? Oh, well, do you want to rock?
I don't think that'll fit in my medicine bag. It looks very large.
You could break it. You could break it, chip
I
a piece off.
throw it forcefully at another set of rocks to see if it breaks. It probably doesn't.
Give me a strike check. See if you can break it.
Oh, a strike? Cool. I rolled a 1.
Oh my
You
god.
Stop
throw it
it.
with, you strike it with such force that it ricochets off the stone and hits your kneecap.
Ow!
And for a moment, you buckle down under the pain, falling down to your knees. Looking down, you've hurt your knees very badly. Please take a body mark.
Are you okay?
Oh no, that's painful. That's painful. That's not good.
I think the island was telling you to stop.
Yeah, I was about to say perhaps the island is alive and that was retribution.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I wish it had just screamed instead.
Screaming would have only hurt me, not you. So perhaps that's why.
Cue a clap of thunder and a bolt of lightning.
Very good, ominous. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down now and like really like I'm gonna have the biggest bruise in the world right now. I'm just like ooh, 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 as like then the doorbell gets rang.
The island doorbell.
The dinner bell.
Oh, don't like that.
Oh no.
All right.
Us, we're dinner.
So you're ringing the bell.
Yes.
All right. So, as Dr. JavaScript, you take a big swing at the bell. All of you hear this loud dong, this deep, bassy sound, not coming from the bell, but behind you, from the lighthouse itself. As those of you carrying a bleed detector in your inventory immediately start hearing a ping sound, your bleed detectors are going haywire.
Oh.
Looking behind at the lighthouse, all of you see something very strange, something physically impossible as the lighthouse itself warps, breaks, and contorts, splitting into two. The path ahead of you also splitting. The entire terrain around you begins to crack and crumble, splitting. As you see, one of the lighthouses is in a complete state of decay and ruin. The light at its very top, barely alive. The other one in pristine condition.
Oh man. Osiris never said there was two of them.
I don't think there's two of them. I think this is a time thing. I think this is... We're in a weird time thing where the lighthouse that's decaying is the present, which is why there's so much bleed coming through. And the other one is when they first built it.
That makes a lot more sense.
That's why they're so loud. They're screaming across memories. They're screaming
At this
across
point,
timelines.
Isidora, that discordant harmony that you were hearing a couple of moments ago turns into whispers and chatters, murmurs of people talking over each other.
They're
Just
quieter.
hushed conversation between them.
Can I understand what's being said?
You hear conversations about more or less, just the actual orders being sent out to people to bring in things for the construction of this lighthouse. There are instructions being given to people to send out more circles here. There's just a lot of conversations happening here, and it takes you a moment to focus in on one, figure out what they're saying before you move on to the next one.
Hippolyta's
It's
right.
just some conversation.
Hippolyta's right. The past and the present are both here.
Which one do we want to go to?
I mean, if the other circles are lost. Maybe they're in the past? Perhaps.
That would make the most
Peculiar.
sense. But how do we
The
stop
other
ourselves from...
circles, yeah, the other ones also never made it back. So if we go into the past to find them, will we be able to make it back?
Maybe if we can fix the lighthouse in the present, the light can guide them back.
If the previous circle came here to do their job, and their job at that time was assessed, they should go into the past to fix the situation, and this is still an intact timeline, shouldn't that mean they would have effects on the present? That doesn't look affected.
Not entirely sure how time travel works, fortunately.
Yeah, that's kind of a new thing.
And it may not have been that that was their job or even the right thing to do. It may have just seemed more appealing. I mean, that does
to
look
stop the
safer.
thing before it happens. Yeah. Instead of trying to fix it.
What if we just swap it?
How so?
How?
That thought had crossed my mind. We pull the new and switch it with the old.
Especially if going back in time doesn't seem to be having any effect on things. Just shove this one into the past and pull that one into the present.
Now that may have effects on a timeline.
If the current one's affected by a significant bleed, that could affect the timeline to the point where the lighthouse and the island no longer exist at all in ours.
But they fixed it in the past, so we'll just send them the broken one and they'll fix it.
No, they built it. It was... They built it in the past, which is why that one looks so new. It wasn't really fixed.
Yeah, if
Lenny,
we
can I look
go
around and
back-
see? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying, if we pull it back out, like to our time, it might not exist anymore because we've messed up where it started. Like, yeah, Harrison, go ahead.
I was going to ask if Harrison can do some investigating around to see if he can find any like tracks or any traces of any of the past circles, like where they went at all.
I would say give me a survey check. You'll have to move around the shore and the initial terrain itself. But yeah, you can absolutely look for.
That is 2, 3, and a 6 on the gilded die.
So you get a drive back. So looking around, you do see tracks, multiple sets of tracks. Initially, this was hard to find you, but as you kind of get further and further in towards the direction of the two lighthouses, you see about 12 sets of tracks, still completely fresh, undisturbed almost. But they're diverging. 6 of them went to the one that looks decrepit and ruined, while 6 of them went to the pristine one.
Harrison points this out to everybody and says, hey, 2 sets of 6 each splits off. It's not incredibly helpful.
I could ask the revenants where to go. I could try.
You know, somebody's got to.
If the voices want to help us.
I think One of them does. I'm gonna use my move extend your senses.
Okay.
And it's when you roll with sense to understand about a phenomenon that you've encountered, you add a number of dice equal to your current intuition resistance, which for me is 1. So if I'm rolling with sense, that's 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I'm gonna try that and see if I can get an idea of like where we should go. See if there's like a pool.
Yeah, go for it.
I got a 6.
Amazing. You try to focus in on the voices around you in this phenomena that has kind of taken root, the split fracture in the very reality of the island that you're standing on. The voices in themselves are split, while one of them is urging you towards the present, one with a more pristine looking lighthouse, while the other also seems to be equally calling out to you, asking you to fix this ruined lighthouse. But there's a third set of voice that just says, walk the path that is unseen.
Unseen. Is there a middle?
Between the two of them?
It
Maybe.
told it. It says, "Go the path that's unseen."
So, not quite when it was built, but not now where it's decrepit. Maybe it wants us to find
On the
where
moment.
the issue happened and
At the moment where it all went wrong.
the exact moment, and then stop that. Not so much at the very beginning.
I think that seems likely.
On that 6, I would also say you get the sense, Isadora, that this is a temporary fracture in reality. It's not going to hold for too long.
Oh, okay.
You actually see reality itself kind of fixing itself, where this light crumbles in the sky around you and the lighthouse itself seems to be mending, where the old decrepit ruins and the pristine one seems to be melding into one.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yes, those. That is the past. This is. I think that is the future should we fail. I think we need to proceed straight. This isn't permanent.
Straight down the middle?
Straight down the middle.
Yeah,
Question,
okay.
Harrison saw 12 tracks. There were 8 circles that came between us. So if I was to assume that like the 2 sets of tracks were like 2 circles, is that like a fair assumption to make?
You don't have a lot of information about the previous circles.
Well, he said these are
We know
fresh.
how many.
Yeah,
And we
these are
know
fresh.
the circle was here 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The last
And the
circle
one-
was here 3 weeks ago.
The last year's circle was 3 weeks ago.
Do we know how many people were on that expedition, like in that circle?
I have no clue.
Oh, we wouldn't know like how many people set off. No.
That information is kind of in a hush hush, even within the Institute Candela Obscura. The only reason you know is that you got off from Osiris and they had to take ships. And there were previous 8 expeditions towards this route. That's how you even get to know that, hey, there were 8 previous circles who made it to this island.
So that means there was another set of people here that Candela didn't know about. Potentially.
Or the circle couldn't decide which way to go and they split.
These are fresh. Like, not 3 weeks old fresh.
Not 3 weeks, okay.
Somebody is here now with us.
Unless it's time travel and those are us.
We're not in that part of the bleed yet. We're not in the like split time travel part. This is before the time travel part.
This is prior to the. Okay.
There are mean people here.
Did the
Maybe
tracks
it's the voices you're hearing?
appear when the lighthouse is split, or were they there before as well?
I think they've been here.
They've been here?
Because they go off in either direction, and he points in both directions.
Okay.
Does it look like they started from one path and then diverged? Or does it look like it's 2 parallel, separate paths?
2 parallel separate paths taken.
Do the paths look exactly the same?
Slightly off step in the one to the pristine one.
Okay.
Like there were side steps and side tracking away from it, but at the end they did go into the pristine, the tower that looked pristine. But yeah, about
Feros voices
5
want
minutes
us to
later,
take straight down the middle.
about 5 minutes into this conversation, as you're debating what to do, cracks mend itself, and the old and the new merge into one.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, no thank you.
Can I ring the bell again?
Before you do that, are the tracks still there now?
If you look at them, they're gone.
Tracks are gone. Can we see the lighthouse still?
You still see the lighthouse.
What does it look like now?
It's in a state where it's between crumbling and still new. It hasn't completely fallen in on itself. Like it's.
So let's just go check it out now. We can always come back and ring the bell.
You know what? Fair.
I think that's a great idea. I'd love to look around. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, went out, but I think we're good to go. I think I'm just going to be on. I'm going to be off video for a bit until the power gets back.
Okay.
Fine.
Oh. Okay.
I'm glad that you're still online. That's crazy.
Because yeah, my Wi-Fi is connected to. I have a power supply unit for that for my setup.
Yeah.
So that keeps up.
Well, gang, it looks like we're officially on our own.
Not yet, but
I'm scarier than that.
So you're all making your way towards the lighthouse.
Yeah.
All right. So you begin stepping towards the lighthouse, while the rest of the crew who did notice this, but do not seem to be any different. Their opinion about what just happened. It's as though none of them even saw this break in reality. They just heard this basis.
Not even Rebecca? She was there with us. Okay.
Not even Rebecca. It's as though for a brief moment in time they were all frozen. But looking back at all of you, they say, "Oh, we'll just wait here for you." And you all begin pressing forward towards the lighthouse. Takes you.
I will just in case. I will have my hand in my hoodie pocket holding on to like a weapon. just in case. I'm not dying here.
You can do that. You trudge through this thick forest that lies between you and the lighthouse itself.
Is there any
Oh.
signs of life, like birds or underbrush rodents or anything?
Yeah. You hear the occasional critters and the sounds of
Okay.
night owls just jumping around and moving through this forest. So there is life teeming here in the forest. It's not completely devoid of it.
Okay.
And they manage to steer away from you, most of them. But pressing forward, you come to the base of the cliff leading up to the lighthouse. Continuing forward, you see the door to the lighthouse slightly ajar.
Is it here, the lighthouse?
I think someone's here.
Oh, we
Should
already
we
rang the bell,
knock?
so
No, we're here.
Knocking? Are we knocking?
No, they left the door open. That means they want us to come in, right?
Nope,
But
don't
that's
like it.
like, you know,
yeah, I think we should still
that's
knock.
you still you still knock, you know, like it's like when you have office hours and you leave your door like open to like indicate you have office hours, but students should still knock when they come in.
The office
So
hours
I
that you
think we
had
should knock.
2 years ago.
Hey, I still have office hours. It's not my fault no one comes to them. I have a lot of things to tell people if they would just listen.
Right. Okay.
Please don't look into my career.
he jots down a note to maybe look into his career. Just maybe. Is he a real professor?
As we get up to the lighthouse, actually,
Mm-hmm.
and they're, I guess, contemplating whether or not to knock, even though I'm the one that asked the question, I am going to go to the door itself,
Okay.
and I'm gonna like take a little knife and I'm gonna cut it.
Cut the door.
Okay, is it just wood, or does it have
It's just
like?
wood. It's just a wood. So you scrape against the wood.
I look over at Isadora. Did anything scream?
Did it?
Oh.
No.
Okay, all right. Well,
I don't
just kind of
think
disappointed. Put my scalpel away.
I don't think the voices are manifestations of something physical, at least not in that sense. I think they're revenants.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I don't
Isadora?
know what that is.
Hmm. Spirits of memory stuck here?
Hmm.
I kind of wonder if any of the previous circles are still stuck here.
I mean, that would make sense.
Why wouldn't they just tell you that they're from a previous circle?
Maybe they can't.
It's not always that easy to communicate, and it's not always that easy to listen, to understand.
Yeah, unfortunately, not all of the ghosts are like the ones in the bar.
Yes. They're very loud about making their presence known. It must be a little bit easier on them, too.
Valid.
So I can't
Yes.
interact with these ones the way I can with the ghosts.
Not right now.
Okay.
They may change their mind about that, or they may find a way to interact with you.
Okay.
If the door is open, I think
Mhm.
Harrison's gonna push it open a little bit more and peek his head in. Hello?
As you peek your head in, You hear your voice echo through the lighthouse. You're at the base level of the lighthouse, where you see a very rustic-looking set of living space built into its space. Simple sofa, a kitchen, a modest decor in place. But along with your voice, you also hear echoes of conversation, chatters and murmur.
Hello? Who goes there?
Almost like you hear the echoes of your own conversations, the past conversations that you just had back at the dock, back at the shore. I mean,
Nope, don't like that. Can we all hear it or just Harrison?
just Harrison who is speaking his head.
Is there
I'm
someone in
assuming
there?
you're all as you're a little ways away.
Yeah, we're like around the door, but not like in the door.
Yeah, it's not full Scooby Doo, like
Yeah.
peeking through. Not
Yeah.
yet.
He peeks his head back out. I hear our voices in there.
I was right.
Sure. I don't know what to do with this. Is I'm gonna go in.
Wait. Before we just start diving in where we can hear old conversations, is there anything else on this island? There used to be a community here. Maybe there's someone we can talk to. Houses we can inspect before we just go right into the big, scary, most likely bleed-filled area.
I think Harrison
to do
has
a bit
a
more
map.
investigating.
I think Harrison has a map of the island that he got from Osiris before we headed out, and he's gonna look around and see what else is there, if anything is marked on it.
You do see the map that Osiris gave you has the lighthouse marked on it, but also an old settlement just south of the Aya where the lighthouse is. The old abandoned settlement where the original keepers of this lighthouse were. But right now it's abandoned, as far as Osiris told you.
And as far as we know,
Should
Uh,
we then?
You're
That's
all
fine.
just check. Are you all peeking inside as well? Because if you do, you would all also hear the conversations that happened.
I'm going to. Especially reminding me that there's bleed filled here. Jolene limps forward because she's still got a bad knee, and sort of like steps through the door and then pauses to listen.
All of the conversations that you had back at the shore. Maybe this is a time loop. It's an old crypto and a pristine one. Every single conversation that you had at the shore is just repeating here over and over again.
But it's only conversations from the shore onwards.
Yes.
Like it's everything we've had on the island.
Yes.
I don't think this is just a normal time loop. I mean, I don't know time loops though, and I just walk in and start looking around.
Looking around.
Okay, so we're going in then. We're not gonna look at like the houses and stuff. So we're just
There's
going.
bleed here to be found. Let's find it, Professor.
it also looks cozy.
You all step in to investigate the lighthouse. The stark, airy atmosphere, the coldness surrounding you. There's this moment of dread that captures every one of you, hoping that something would jump. Nothing really happens. Just this occasional flickering of light.
There's multiple levels, right? Like, can I just start slowly walking up the stairs.
You all. Did I cut off for a second there?
If you were still talking, we did not hear it.
What was the last thing you heard?
You're waiting for something to jump out at us?
Yeah, so you all hold your breath, waiting for something to jump out on you in this moment inside this room, but all you feel is the restlessness surrounding you and the occasional flickering of the light above you of the lighthouse. And a gentle giggle sound echoing.
Nope.
And that's where we're going to end our today's session.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
man.
What? Giggle? Nope. Don't
Ooh.
like giggle. Don't
First a
like
giggle, next we're gonna get a girl on fire.
I'm here for it.
Oh, it's is it the girl from the ship?
Maybe. Look, I just want a blood sample.
Oh.
Can I just get a blood sample real fast?
I don't know if there is
Before you
blood.
burst into flames.
But yes,
Oh man.
very band of investigators, welcome to the lighthouse and the true beginning of a mystery.
Yeah.
Beginninning.
Whether you're stuck in the past or the present, who knows? Find out.
Oh
Or if
man.
you're, or are you stuck in a loop?
There was a comment in the chat that said, we're going to start next session. And Lenny's going to say, all right, you are all on a boat going across the sea. And I'm going to scream if that happens.
What's the song that starts that one Supernatural episode?
Oh.
Is it Walking on Air?
Not supernatural, but I was gonna say, what's new, Pussycat?
But hey,
Dang.
I hope all of our audience had fun. And that's where we're ending our today's session. And we picked right from the lighthouse and its eerie atmosphere and what lays beyond, what secrets it's holding. For all these very band of investigators to follow upon. Thank you so much for everyone to listening in on. Thank you so much for the place for being such an energy.
That's a way to describe it, yeah.
Only two of us almost died.
And yeah, see you ahead. Oh
Are we
yeah,
gonna do
outros.
outros?
Yeah, let's start off with Evan, our players. Evan, go for it.
Wow, geez, this was super awesome. Like I said, my name's Evan. You can find me on all socials at Southpaw Holmes, and you can find me if you're a fan of pirates and magic. You can find me at the Writers' Room, a 7th Sea podcast.
I'll go. I'm
Yeah, go for it.
April again. April. I'm Smarticod everywhere. I make tiny little games as well by myself and also with a group of friends over on Illicit Peanuts.
And I am Leneyxis, your humble Lightkeeper. You can find me as Leneyxis on everywhere. So come say hi to me when I'm not DMing for people here on Discord. You can find me at Underline Center in Bangalore, where I DM in person for events.
I'm Chrissy and Keller on socials, and yeah, you can find me making dirty jokes on Blue Sky and occasionally in tables on Twitch.
I'm Evie Story. You can find me at Evie Story Places. I am here and potentially in a podcast, which if you follow me, then you will find out more about when it happens. This was amazing, you guys. This was so much fun.
Right. Hey y'all, I'm Garnet. I can be found at Ash and Brienne on Blue Sky, and a couple other places. And I'm really just kind of all over the internet doing TTRPG stuff, or on Blue Sky telling, reminding folks to wash their hands, wear a mask, and, make sure they clean in between all of the crevices, because the panini is not over and we're getting another one. So please stay safe out there, folks. Otherwise, I think I'm funny. So if you just want to come hang out, do that. Otherwise, y'all have a great